Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to the promised land. How's it going, guys? Welcome back. My name's Nick. I'm here today at Castle Hill Toyota and it's ToyotaFest 2022, and as you can see we've got a pretty good turnout today. Just heading in. We're going to go inside, check out some of these cars, so stay tuned. I really dig these things. They're a four-wheel drive Corolla. You can actually bolt a 4A or a 7A straight into them, and also like a Celica gearbox will bolt straight into, so these things would be great for like a really awesome sleeper build. A lot of people do four-wheel drive stuff. It's a very awesome little car. Old AE95s, love to do one day. And they've also got the same diff, like a T-Series diff, just the same as like an 8.6. Very, very cool cars. I seen this thing last time I came out to ToyotaFest as well. The owner's pretty cool. See if we can chat to him later on. But these throttles are really cool. They're like a barrel throttle where they turn, and there's no restriction when they're wide open. There's no like butterfly. He's got the same headers as me, as Tota, and the really rare Formula Atlantic cover. It's very cool. And it's in really good condition too. Gorgeous car. He's done a fair bit of work to it since last time I seen it. Last time he was running open throttles, so that looks new. And yeah, it's a beautiful car. We'll see if we can find him and have a chat with him. All right, guys, I'm here at ToyotaFest 2022. I'm with my mate Eddie here. He's got his 860 out today. It's a beautiful car. I've seen this thing first time in ToyotaFest 2018, I think it was. And like he's got really, really nice intake setup, like a really nice Atlantic cam cover. So we'll let him talk about it and we'll have a bit of a walkthrough. So let's check it out. Can you tell me a bit about the engine? Like, tell us the story behind the car.
Yeah. All right, so I originally bought the car back in like 2002 or 3. It was originally turbocharged, but it made probably too much power for the chassis that it was in. Yeah. So it made like 270 real kilowatts when it was turboed, and it was just stupid because it would just spin fourth gear everywhere. So I eventually spun a bearing in that motor, and then I figured I'd go back to normally aspirated. So I took the car off the road, stayed off the road for probably about a year and a half while I was building the next engine for it, which is a NA thing. And then this entire motor package came up for sale, which is, it's a 7A. So 7A bottom end, offset ground crank, Argo rods, JE pistons, still 81mm bore. It's about it's offset ground, so it's about 1865 cc, give or take, a little bit extra. It revs to about 9500. It is dry sump. I transferred the dry sump system from my 4A over to this one. This one also came with barrel throttle bodies from Genvi, which is those things there. So it's an entire cylinder that rotates instead of having a butterfly.
Yeah, zero restriction.
Yeah, zero restriction. The airflow is very, very different. I had it tuned over at Gem, down at Ingleburn, and Adam was excited to tune it because he'd never tuned barrels before. Yeah, right. And he was getting really excited about it because he was looking at TPS movement versus airflow, and the airflow was basically through the roof. Oh, wow. So yeah, so he said, oh, like 20% TPS, you'd get the same airflow that you get at 40% in a
Oh, right.
butterfly setup.
Right, so it would have messed up his normal.
Yeah. So what he was used to
setup,
tuning,
yeah.
so it spent a long time. I think it spent 14 hours over 2 days on the dyno there.
Oh wow.
So he took his time, and it's a very good tune in it. So he took his time with it. Made about 128 rear wheel kilowatts, which is okay. There's more in it, but I'm out of cam timing because this is an old school 7A build. So the way you set the cam timing on these is you reef the cam gear all the way over on one side. But because of that, I've run out for actual timing the engine. I could skip a tooth, but then my lines don't mark up and it kills me. So, nowadays you got broach timing gears and all that sort of stuff to set the zeros.
That's what I've got in mind.
Yeah. But
So
nowadays,
last time I was here, you didn't have the airbox.
Yeah.
That's,
So that's
a really
new.
nice addition.
Yeah, so that's Revelry over in the UK. It's carbon fibre, costs a fortune. It's a bastard to deal with. Don't cut carbon fibre unless you're cutting wet. It's imagine 1,000 tiny sharp needles just jabbing into you. That's basically what it's like cutting. But yeah, I've been meaning to put filtration on this for a long time since I put the engine in. I did a leak down test on it after a track day a few months back, and it's starting to hurt a little bit, ingesting, basically nothing but dirt. So I figured it's probably about time to put an airbox on it. So yeah, put that on. A little bit of fab work, but nothing really out of the ordinary. I do want to ram tube it eventually to the front bar somewhere because I got my old intercooler hole there. So currently it's just a filter sitting straight down, which is enough for the moment. But
For now. Yeah. And you just recently got some new wheels?
Yeah, these are Atara racing wheels. They're actually a nice copy. They're Watanabe copies. They're pretty much the only wheel that'll clear my brakes because it runs Brembos front and rear. I'm pretty happy with the wheels actually. So these are running my street tyres. I've got another set of super lights that run the track tyres.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. The colour really suits the car. It looks awesome.
Yeah. Bronze is always the way to go with Watts.
Yeah,
so,
that's it. That's
or
it.
even look like Watts.
Yeah, right. So you want to show us anything else like the interior?
Interior, I've got a stack dash in it. Works bell, quick release. It does have a tilt and pedal box in it as well. Obviously, because of the size of the trumpets in it, I couldn't run the master cylinder. So I put a 3-pedal tilt and box in it. It's a bit fiddly to set up the brake bias and that sort of stuff. But once you've got it set up, I much prefer an unboosted setup. It's just more consistent. As long as they're set up correctly. So the actual master cylinders sit underneath your feet. It's a reverse mount 600 series Tilton, and the reservoir's just in the engine bay up there.
Yeah, sweet. And that gave you a bit more clearance for the...
Yeah, heaps more clearance. So normally the master cylinder sits right there.
Yeah, right in the way.
Yeah, so obviously there's no room for that I've got 120mm trumpets, I've got 120mm trumpets inside the box. So there's no way they would have fit with it in place. So coil on plug conversion. It's running a Haltech older ECU. It's Platinum Sport 1000. But still does the job.
Another thing that a lot of people don't realise is with dry sump that you don't have a breather.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a restrictor.
Yeah, that's right. So this is actually a spring-loaded vacuum bleed. So it adjusts the amount of vacuum going through the engine when it's dry sumped. So I've got it hooked up to a vacuum gauge on the inside of the car.
Yeah.
If you're going really, really extreme and full track oriented, you set the vacuum at like 15 to 20 inches at idle. But the problem with that is that you'll have to install the oil seals backwards in the motor, so it actually stops the seals from getting sucked in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which is a pain. So you're not actually trying to stop oil from coming out, you're trying to stop the seals from getting sucked in.
Pretty funny, man.
Yeah, but I've only got to set it like 5 because it still sees a lot of road time rather than track. So it's a dual purpose car really. So
cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for showing me your car.
All good, man.
All right, guys, here again, ToyotaFest 2022. I'm here with Steve. Just met him now, and his car's an absolute standout. Looks like he's got a nice K series and an 8.6. So let's take a closer look. How you doing, man?
Yeah, good.
So do you want to tell us a bit about the car? So you said you've been building it now for like 8 years?
Yeah,
just
8
finished
years in the making. It's been running for about a year now.
Yeah.
Don't drive it too often. 1983. We've got a K24 in there.
Yeah.
Mazda MX-6 gearbox.
Yeah.
R31 diff in the back.
Oh, nice.
We've got GDR32 brakes all around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, pretty good.
So it's a K20, is it?
K24.
K24,
Yeah.
right. That's gorgeous. Are they custom headers?
Custom headers, yep.
Yeah, beautiful. And so, how much of the work have you done yourself? Have you tried to?
I'd say 40% I've been doing the work. My brother's just standing at the back. He's done most of it. He's a mechanic, so he's been doing most of the work.
He's got all the expertise. He's like a lot of help.
Much. He knows ins and outs of this car. So
yeah, nice. So you're running standard ECU? Or?
I'm running M-Tron ECU.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my brother's a mate of his at Insight Motorsports. So yeah, they did all the tuning and everything in the car.
Yeah, they're the guys to go to for M-Tron, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool, man. So have you got it tuned? Do you know how much power it makes?
It made 140 kilowatts.
140
kilowatts. Yeah,
nice.
Standard motor. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome. That'd be good in this thing, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So you happy with it overall? How it drives and stuff?
Yeah, everything's good now. Nothing's broken yet, so hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I just had a bit of a sneaky look at the interior. It looks pretty immaculate, man.
Yeah, all original. I haven't done anything to it. Just gave it a quick clean.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful, man. Cool. Well, thanks for showing me the car.
Thanks very much. Cheers. Thanks, mate.
All right, so I just came across Jim's KE70. I actually saw this car a couple of weeks back. I actually bought an intake plenum off him, and it's a really, really good setup. The bodywork's all beautiful, and he's really done the engine real nice. So we'll let him have a bit of a talk about it. So what you've got done, you want to tell us a bit of a story about the car? You said you started off with like a shell, didn't you?
Yeah, so the story was I was watching too many go time videos on YouTube, as you do.
Yeah.
And saw this pop up for $3,000 in Newcastle, just a shell, bare shell, and has no rust, it's fairly straight, so road tripped it up there and brought it back home. This is my 6th one, so hopefully that's it, the end of it.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Like, I couldn't believe that you didn't actually paint it. You actually got it with this paint job. It looks so immaculate.
Yeah, that's right. So what I did was I just got it detailed, and that's about it. You know, it's fairly clean, fairly neat. Aside from the engine bay, that's been painted, and the underside of the bonnet as well. So
and looks
so
very
she looks
good.
a bit fresh.
You were telling me that you've had a bit of work done to the motor. So you want to tell us the specs on that?
Yeah, so the motor I got from a hill climb car. I just refreshened it again. It's just a dry-rib big port engine. It's got a whole heap of mods, honestly.
It's like high compression and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, high compression pistons,
bigger cams.
ITBs, bigger cams, it's literally everything's brand new or replaced on it. Makes 120 kilowatt at the wheels,
which is pretty decent. Like,
it's not bad, honestly. For a big port motor, it goes pretty good.
Yeah, man.
But did all the work myself.
Silver top ITBs were they?
Oh yeah, silver top. Silver top. The injectors are a bit big on them, I reckon. They're 550cc, but
that's fair enough.
It is what it is. She runs well, goes well on E85. It's got a TRD diff as well.
Oh, cool.
Wheelwood brakes. It's a
Did
fantastic
you say you were
car.
running a Haltech?
Yeah, Haltech 750 on it. Tuned by Unigrip down in Girraween, I think.
Yeah, beautiful.
They did a fantastic job on it. I'd recommend anyone to go to them. It's not a sponsor video, by the way. But that's pretty much it for the engine.
Yeah, sweet. And one other thing was your Radium fuel pressure regulator was really nice too.
Yeah, so I've seen that setup online. I always wanted a neat setup instead of mounting it on the strut tower or something like that. Which it's too messy. I don't like too many lines,
That's right.
And I found that, I was like, look, just take my money and we'll chuck it in.
It all
works.
The front cover, the TRD front cover, I don't think I've ever seen one of them before.
Yeah, I honestly came with the car, came with the engine. Don't know where it came from.
No, that's right. No, it's a cool little piece. So.
But I did get it has been signed by Sachia as well, which is pretty neat.
Very, very cool. Very cool. And the interior in this thing is bloody immaculate too. So
yeah, it's just all granny spec. There's nothing changed in the interior. It's just been cleaned up. That's about it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Just the way I like it.
All right. Well, thanks for showing me.
Yeah, no worries. Easy.
Alright guys, so this little Red 86 here belongs to Adam Hocker, and I didn't get a chance to do a video with him on the day. He was one of the event organisers, And it also would have been pretty impractical to do a video just because he was parked right next to one of the big speakers that were blasting music, so he probably wouldn't have heard much anyway. But he's had this engine rebuilt by Matt at MT Performance, who's also my engine builder, and they went all out with this thing. He's running around the same power as me, but in a 1.6 litre 4AGE. His setup is pretty similar, but he's running a larger cam and closer ratio gearing, and he's obviously revving it a lot harder than I am. But it's definitely a cool car that I'd like to do a side-by-side comparison with my car one day. So anyway guys, ToyotaFest is an annual event that I try to make it to every year with or without my car. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring my car this year due to my tappet settings being out of spec. But if you're anywhere near Sydney, it's definitely worth taking a look. And if you ever see me there, be sure to say hi. So that'll be it for this video guys. If you liked the video, be sure to tell me what you think in the comment section. And while you're there, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.